I guess I did want to ask you as well, Dr. Jojo, what makes you, because you've been doing this work for decades, what makes you decide to write a book now?
It's interesting. You mentioned the pandemic, right? So, um, around that time, and time has gotten weird for me since the pandemic. I don't know if that's true for you, but I can't keep track of the years. But after George Floyd was murdered, my daughter, who at the time was about 9 or 10, had been hearing from friends about this, about what happened, but was hearing very conflicting perspectives, right? Because their friends were, her friends were, basically parroting what they were hearing at home, right? So some of them were saying that, this guy, George Floyd, was a bad guy, and, he was, that whole narrative. And then others were like, this guy was murdered. And she just couldn't, make sense of what she was hearing. So she wanted to know more. And we talked about it a little bit, and there was a video, right? And I said, well, do you want to see what happened for yourself? And she thought about it, and we sat together, and she decided she wanted to see it. Sat together and watched it on the couch, and she had a very emotional response to it. Of course, I don't know how you wouldn't, but in our conversation afterward, part of what she said to me, because she knows what I do, right? She's been since birth. She's been in the classrooms I've taught in. She's been at speaking engagements. So she's always been around this. She said, isn't this what you do? Isn't your work supposed to make this not happen, basically, right? And she said, you're not doing enough, you know? And she challenged me and a lot of the people that she knows as aunts and uncles, all my close friends in the work. She said, you guys have to do more. And I took that seriously, and I thought about, what have I done? What have I not done? And I haven't done much writing. I've never written a book. And I used to do a lot of big speaking engagements when I was young. And I got away with that because I got very comfortable doing the work behind the scenes, right? And so I thought, those are two areas where I need to step back up, right? I need to do more public speaking, and I need to actually write out, some things that I've learned, you know. And so that challenge from my daughter Michaela really helped me to say, I really need to take the time to write a book that incorporates some of the personal, and not just the professional, right? Because initially I had already been thinking about writing a book from a perspective of a professional in inclusive excellence for higher education professionals that do this work. And I realized, what? I think the personal piece, like you were saying, that connection that you make with your in your interviews and with people in general, that personal story sharing matters, right? So I thought, I need to take this challenge seriously because I need to do more. And so that's really what um, pushed me to write this kind of book.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you did. I really enjoyed it. Like I said,
I appreciate that.
For everybody who is new here, the book is called A Brother's Insight, Guidance on Defeating Racism and Advancing Freedom. The author here, Dr. Jojo McManus. Link will be put into the chat for you guys if you want to order the book, and share it with anyone who you think might be interested or might want to read it or might need to read it. Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support, and see you next time.